Hello everyone and welcome back to our next video. In our previous video we learned how to create exceptions for errors and how to handle errors, and the video before that we created our database and the tables and of course columns in it. So you can see the database is empty, the columns do not have any data in them. So this is our form. You can see we just did it plain just for trials. So now the first thing to do, enter our first name. Let me say Clarkson X and dev email clarkdev@gmail.com. This is just a sample email. Password, let me use an easy one. Let me say 12345. So we can also, because we're going to talk about something related to this in the database. Password again 12345. Now click on register. Never, I don't want to say. Congratulations, you have been registered successfully. Now remember, we set this to appear only when the values were successfully sent to the database. So let us see if we are correct. So I'll refresh my database and voila, we can see the value have been added. Now we can see the ID has increased by 1, meaning we have currently 1 person in the database. First name Clarkson X, you can see the last name Dev, you can see the email, and now the password. Remember the password was 1212. Sorry about that, it wasn't 1212, it was 12345. But now we're saying $2y $10 $QRQV6FF. So you see it has converted it to a series of strings. It has hashed that password. This was done in order to protect the users. So even if the database was hacked, a hacker won't have direct access to individual accounts because the passwords were all encrypted. That was the reason why we encrypted it using password secret. Now our jolly application is working perfectly. It sends the data to the database. Now what happens when I try to register that same person again, as per what we did in the last video? We handled the exception or error handling, that it will not allow that user to register twice. Now let's see, what was the email I used? ClarkDev. Let me use that same email to register another person. 12345 12345. What happens? Can you see the error now? Email address already exists in the database, and if we come to the database and reload, we see that it will not insert that data because we set a parameter, we set a constraint that if the email was found in the database before the registration, meaning that person has been registered successfully, and hence the registration process will be aborted. So you can see it was aborted, it did not complete. We see that the email address, it already exists in the database. Good. But what happens when we use another email but the password we entered is not correct? Another exception handling, we can see passwords do not match. Did it send? Again, no, it did not send. Passwords do not match. You can see it's in red because we made it red, and that was the reason why we made that exception handling, error handling. We need to handle errors like this. Of course, there are a lot of error handling you can do. The password combinations, you can say the password combination has to contain a keyword, has to contain capital letter, numbers, or this is the minimum length it must have. So those are the constraints you can set. But I just set these two based on our tutorial. So when the email already exists, it should show you an exception or an error and abort the program, and if the passwords do not match, it will show you an error. Now let's go insert another person. Let's say Paul Jamie. Let's use another email. Let's use 121212 this time, and let's use 121212 again. So our details are correct here, and click on register. You can say congratulations, you have been registered successfully. Or come to our database, you can see number 2, Paul Jamie, registered successfully. So congratulations, if you made it to this video, though you have successfully completed the phpMyAdmin sign up page, you can successfully create a sign up page that sends the data directly to the database. What's next? How about a login page? Get the data from the database, display the user data, fetch the user data, validate the user's data, open a session variable, create a cookie, and store all this inside the browser. That is what we'll be learning in the next episode. Now the first part is over. Thank you very much for joining me, and we'll begin the next part momentarily. Thank you again, and congratulations. Let me just, for all time's sake, let me just create another one. Sorry, old email. 121212. Congratulations. There you go. Thank you very much.